how Americans sort of see the parties. Which party is better described as the party with strong leaders? Look at this.
Wow.
16% of Americans say Democrats, 40% say that of the Republican Party. Now, overall, no party's doing great. Lots of Americans say neither of these qualities apply to either party. But look at how much worse off the Democrats are. A party that gets things done. Only 19% of Americans say that about the Democrats. 36% say it about the Republicans. In fact, the only place that the Democrats are numerically ahead, party of the middle class, this is basically a tie, though.
Yeah.
34% say that of Democrats, 32% say that of Republicans. But this, I think, is the most fascinating. How do partisans talk about their own party? Right? So among Democrats and Democratic leaners, 32% say Democrats are the party with strong leaders. I mean, of their own kind, right? 82% of Republican and Republican leaders say that about the GOP. Only 41% of Democrats say they're the party that gets things done of their own kind. And I will just say, 51%, Manu, a majority of Democratic and Democratic leaners say neither party gets the party that gets things done attribute. Imagine that is that's the project that Democrats are working on.
Yeah, defend the Democrats. They are for things. Illegal aliens, you're for boys and girls sports. I mean, you are for things. And that's why you have such struggles right now in your party, because you're not for anything that's on the right side of any of the 80-20 issues that are driving this cultural divide in America. I think Wes Moore is actually a pretty talented communicator. The other person who spoke in South Carolina, Tim Walz, is this special mixture of extreme buffoonery and a mean spirit, which is a toxic brew. He is not the future of the Democratic Party. Moore is interesting. Probably more interesting than some of the radicals you have out there, Crockett, AOC. I mean, those are the true leaders of your party right now, but it'd probably be better off replacing them with...
That's not true, and I'm not going to even let you...
That's not true, and here's the thing. We're not...
So over the weekend, a report came out, reported by CNN, essentially saying that even their own Democratic voters don't see their party as a party that does anything. While most Americans see that the Republican parties, at least, is the closest party to actually implementing and doing something. And I always get this question, why should we vote for the GOP when they sit down and do nothing? I'm like, the GOP can be pressured, the Democrats can't be pressured. That's it. It's just like a worker, right? You know, their worker can do good work, but sometimes you got to give them a little push. You got to give them a little nudge. That's the Republican Party. While Democrats, that is that worker that's so stubborn. They're like, nah, I don't care what you tell me. I'm going to just do the bare minimum regardless, either whether you're micromanaging me, not micromanaging me. I don't care. I'm doing it work my way. You're going to fire them. And that's exactly what happened to the Democratic Party. And I wanted to just highlight this, is that, holy crap, Democrats are screwed. Their own polling are abysmal, with 32% of their own voters believing that their party can accomplish anything. Trump has broken the Democratic Party. Trump has broken many things about the Democrats. And one of the reasons why I think many people don't trust the Democratic Party, as you saw from the intro with Scott Jennings, Scott Jennings needs his own show. I think it's time. My man, he don't miss. He does not miss. If you want to hear an opinion of a voter if you're a Democrat, and you want to hear of an opinion of voters that didn't vote for your candidate, Kamala Harris, or Democrats in general, listen to Scott Jennings. Scott Jennings is exactly what CNN need. Actually, Scott Jennings is exactly what all these news outlets need, because they have such a liberal bias in their institutions. I already told you, journalism is the most liberal profession in the world. They need more Scott Jennings to balance out their coverage, because they themselves don't have the discipline or the character, frankly, to check their own bias before they wreck their reputation. But, I digress. Democrats announced that when they take back the House, their goal will be to make Elon Musk's life a living hell and find his companies. Is this what America wants to elect Democrats for? There's no purpose in electing a Democrat. None, zero, zilch, nada. That's why I said Republicans, I already warned the Republicans what they need to do. If you want to win for the next 10 years, Republicans, just be the party that gets ish done. Because 32% of Democratic voters don't even believe that their party gets ish done. 47% of Republicans believe that their party gets stuff done, but that's mainly because Donald Trump and his executive orders. But we need those things codified, right? Trump already promised that he's going to pressure to get the tax cuts from Doge codified by the Congress. That's all we need to do. Republicans, we know, okay, we need to apply pressure with them. Okay. Democrats, it don't matter if you apply pressure. It don't matter if they lose elections. It don't matter if their poll numbers are in the bottom, in the gutter. They're still gonna act like their ish don't stink. You don't believe me? Let's take this clip of Hakeem Jeffries being confronted by his poll numbers and see the excuses that he give. Let's take a look.
Mr. Leader, you brought up polls, so let me tell you about
a new one that just came out here at CNN this morning. It shows that only 19% of Americans say that your party can get things done. 36 say the same about Republicans. And just 16% say your party has strong leaders. It's pretty rough, and you are one of those leaders. How do you turn that around?
Yeah, we don't have the presidency right now, so that's always going to be challenging a few months after a presidential election. But we have to continue to make the case, one, that Democrats, of course, are the party that is determined to make life more affordable for everyday Americans, for hardworking American taxpayers, that we believe that we need to lower the high cost of living, which for decades has been going up while the size of the middle class has been going down. So understandably, there's real frustration amongst the American people. They should be frustrated.
But they're
Housing
frustrated
costs are
with
too
you
high.
as well, with Democrats as well.
Of course, they're frustrated with the system.
Now we're bringing to this video, right? Hakeem Jeffries got confronted about, party can't accomplish anything. You just saw him give an excuse. We don't have the presidency, so of course we can't do anything. But there's only a marginal majority in the Congress. That means you have a lot of influence still, right? And this is one of the reasons why I said, hey, in the midterms, don't vote Democrat. Give Republicans more power, because the trade-off here is, this is my political calculation. Let me know if you agree with it or not in the comment section. My political calculation is, hey, Democrats have a slim minority. That means they have too much influence over what bills get passed and don't get passed. If you give Republicans more power, more seats, right, there's less excuses for them to pretend that they can't do anything, which puts what that means. That means all I'm saying is you voting for Republicans puts them more in the hot seat to fall under political pressure, right? We already pressured some GOP lawmakers to attempt to qualify the Doge cuts. Trump is planning to apply pressure on Congress as well. If we voted for Donald Trump, we have to set the deck in his favor. How you set the deck in Donald Trump's favor? You give him more Republicans to vote for, even if they're not so good. You just know, hey, Donald Trump will be able to apply pressure on them. But this party that's run by Hakeem Jeffries, remember, the party that don't have strong leadership, their own voters will agree with me that Democratic Party has no strong leadership. You want them to be in opposition to Trump, where all they're doing is just blindly resisting Trump? This guy made a threat, I think, he made a political statement saying that if Donald Trump goes after any of his people, they'll be held to play, or there's going to be a red line crossed. And it just shows how feeble and weak this party is. And I'm going to show you an example here with this clip here of him getting confronted with this reality. Let's take a look.
I want to ask you about something that happened in your home state of New York. In the past couple of days, Congressman Jerry Nadler said that DHS agents entered his congressional office on Wednesday without a warrant and handcuffed a member of his staff. This, of course, comes after the Trump Justice Department charged Democratic Congresswoman LaMonica McIver with obstructing ICE agents after an altercation at a facility in Newark, New Jersey. Now, I know you previously warned that the administration charging members of Congress was a, quote, red line. What are you doing now that the red line you talked about has apparently been crossed?
Well, let me make clear that the House is
He can't do nothing. He can't do nothing because these people actually did something wrong, right? Like, this is the funny part. Remember when I was talking about how the Democrats are trying to accuse Donald Trump of weaponizing the DOJ, like they didn't weaponize the DOJ for the last 4 years against Donald Trump, right? And Trump's giving a little taste of their own medicine. And Trump's not even weaponizing the DOJ. He's just like, hey, Eric Adams, where the bodies are, where all the dirt is at, and I'll pardon you, right? This is at the end of the day, this is all a speculation on someone who's just observing politics. Right? This is someone who's just observing politics. Eric Adams is getting pardoned, or he got his charges dropped, federal charges dropped. I believe, knowing Trump, he probably got something out of that. Right? And hey, look, these people in New York, they're getting charged. Letitia James got caught for fraud. I'm just saying, this is not political prosecution, right? Because we're using the same principles that the left used to justify their actions against Donald Trump. No one's above the law. Hey, did your people break the law, Hakeem Jeffries? That's how I would have confronted him. Hey, did your people actually broke the law? I don't know. Okay, they're being investigated. Okay. But you did the same thing to Donald Trump. And this is the funny part is these people, and this is why I think Democrats, they catch themselves in lies. This is why Democrats come across manipulative. Because you essentially did the same thing to Donald Trump 4 years ago. A year ago. a year ago. And he's just giving you a little taste of what y'all did to him. And he has more credibility to go after you than you did after him. And somehow you're going to say this is weaponization of the government. You have to admit that you weaponized the government first, and he's just retaliating. No one's above the law, remember? And this is why every accusation from the left is actually a confession. And that's how I believe Americans should interpret the actions of the Democrat until they prove otherwise. I digress. Let's continue.
Separate and co-equal branch of government, the Congress. We don't work for Donald Trump. We don't work for the administration. We don't work for Elon Musk. We work for the American people. And we have a responsibility to serve as a check and balance on an out-of-control executive branch. That's the constitutional.
So this is where, the narrative crumbles a little bit. So you saying that you work for the American people, but the American people saying that they don't like the direction your party's going. They don't like your party, honestly. They say your party doesn't have strong leadership. If you work for the American people, Hakeem Jeffries, that means you should resign. 16% of Democrats believe that they have strong leadership. You're part of the leadership class in the Democratic Party. You, Chuck Schumer, should resign if you truly believe that, but you don't. Actions speak louder than words. This is what I'm talking about, right? If a Republican was saying that, I'll be pressuring him to resign too, like Mitch McConnell, right? Resign. He did. Now Thune's in there. No one wanted Thune. Like, I didn't want Thune. I wanted someone else. But hey, whatever. You don't always get what you want, right? Republicans are the only ones willing to challenge their establishment. That's the one thing I noticed. This is why when progressives come in my comment section crying about how I'm a black conservative on this, I don't give a damn. Because your party you don't even do anything. You too lazy to even check your own party. You talk about how you guys are the true resistance, but you ain't resisting nothing. AOC ain't resisting nothing. AOC had the opportunity to do what Matt Gaetz did 2 years ago, I think. I forget the whole splat with him and Kevin McCarthy. AOC had the chance to do that with Nancy Pelosi, and she folded. And you want to sit here and laugh, oh, look, Matt Gaetz is not in office anymore, whatever. But he challenged the establishment in his party. He represent a Republican that cared. Maybe he didn't do it the most tactful way, maybe not the most productive way, right? But based on how he acted, he did it in a way. Now you can say there's conflicts of interest, and maybe he had, he was trying to cover up some bad things. I don't know. I don't defend people personally. But the optics of it is, the young Republicans in the Republican Party are willing to challenge their old guard. What about, where's that for the progressive left? None. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Actually, they're losing seats in the House, right? Progressives are losing their seats. The squad is down to 2, I believe. Omar and AOC. Cory Bush is out. Another person, I forgot her name, is out. His name, sorry. Jamal Baldwin, the bald guy, the bald back guy that's overly aggressive. Yeah, he's gone. So I don't want to get no lecture from no progressives because you got no, how you say it? You got no results to back up your claims. All you guys are all bark, no bite. But I digress. Let's continue.
Blueprint that was given to us by the framers of the United States democracy that we have inherited over the last few centuries. And so we're going to continue to undertake our congressional responsibility, notwithstanding efforts by the Trump administration to try to intimidate Democrats. It's unfortunate that our Republican colleagues continue to be nothing more than rubber stamps for Trump's reckless and extreme agenda.
That the people voted for. That the people beat your candidate. Like, make it make sense. If you work for the people, hey, the people hired this guy to be your leader. Okay, I don't agree with everything he does, but here's certain things I do agree. But your party, and this is why your party for most Americans is seen as you don't get anything done. I can understand you have some reservations about certain things that Trump does. You can not like the tariffs, but what about healthy food? What about lowering drug prices? You can't get along with Trump with that. He says, "Hey, Trump, we're gonna only do 2-issue bills that we all agree on, so we can pass and get something done for the American people." This is the posturing. Look, I'm giving free game for free out here. If you're a Democrat and you hear my criticism, you can interpret my criticism as a way of, oh, look, this is a good data source to understand a voter that's probably more likely to vote for me than a diehard Republican. Because I'm not a diehard Republican. I'm an independent. I'm still an independent voter. Like, I haven't registered with the Republicans yet. If you make a good case, it's pragmatic, you aligned it with the interests of the American people, I can consider it. But I'm always going to observe the alternative. You could posture yourself and be like, okay, we'll work with you here. We'll do single item bills for these issues. Like, but you got nothing. You don't got anything. You just obstruct Trump, resist Trump, just like your judges, resist Trump. That's all I know how to do. And I'm like, yo, you're not accomplishing anything. You're preventing something that some Americans have something that Trump is doing that they can kind of agree with, and you're just getting in the way of all of it. You should take notes from your guy Ro Khanna. Ro Khanna's like, oh, I'll help codify the drug cuts. That's something you guys can get behind and make yourselves look good over. Did you do it? Nope, because all you care about is blinding resisting Trump. You can't give Trump that win because you know once the bill gets passed and Trump signs it into law, Trump can take credit for it. You don't want Trump to get any credit for that, so you rather just blindly resist him. And this is why Democrats get nothing accomplished. I digress.
And the American people, I think, will ultimately reject that next year when we will take back control of the House of Representatives. In the meantime, in terms of how we will respond to what Trump and the administration has endeavored to do, we will make that decision in a time, place, and manner of our choosing. But the response will be continuous, and it will meet the moment that is required.
Meet the moment, aka complain online, complain on TV, complain like this. Like they have no actions, right? They just sitting around waiting for you to doubt Trump, right? That's why they got the media behind them pushing, oh, Trump recession, Trump's tariffs thing increase, which I just finished laying out to you when they get confronted on their narratives, how it crumbles, right? And you see it. They're just waiting for them to get into power. And then when they get in power, are they going to do something productive for the American people? No, they're going to play politics. They're going to try to impeach Trump. They're going to try to go after Elon Musk because he helped Trump cut down their government. They cut down their hustle, right? Elon Musk messed with their money, right? Their little money laundering scheme with these foreign aids, the funding these NGOs that don't actually do anything for the American people or people in general, just a way of pushing left-wing ideology. They're going to go after Elon Musk because he helped cut $100 million in DEI efforts, which heavily pushes left-wing ideology for their constituency and also gives their constituency, these DEI race hustlers, a profitable job. They coming after Elon Musk because he messed with their bag. Their fraud, waste, and abuse. This is what's going to happen if you give Democrats their power. They're going to frame it as, oh, this is for the American people. We're trying to protect education, which is code name for we're trying to protect our indoctrination process. We're trying to educate you in liberal doctrine. And we're mad that Elon Musk said that was a waste of money. This doesn't actually benefit the American people. It actually only benefits you politically because you're using this to influence the future generation of Americans to be set up to be more likely to lean in your direction. Let's cut all that. And Hakeem Jeffries mad. And if you give them power, they're going to use it. Democrats only care about themselves. This is what I want you to get away from this video. And this is the arguments of why I believe that.
What exactly does that mean? Have you not decided how to respond?
We've publicly responded in a variety of different ways. We haven't let our foot off the gas pedal in terms of additional things that may take place with respect to our congressional oversight authority and capacity. We will respond in a time, place, and manner of our choosing.
Time, place, and manner is after the midterms, when we actually have power, when we actually have teeth. They're just waiting. They're just waiting. That's it. They're just going to talk. They're going to complain, right? Instead of actually doing something, okay, hey, let's be productive. Let's show the American people why they should have trusted us with power, right? Actions speak louder than words. Do. Build the fort and they will come, right? You build the thing, they will come. The Democrats, they don't believe that. They rather have everything up front, then they will try to do something. Oh, give us power, then we're gonna do it. Like Kamala Harris. If I win the election, then I'll do it. Instead of promising, no, I'm gonna incorporate you, and that's how she lost RFK. Democrats, they're not about nothing really. They're only about themselves. They're only about them, their political tribe, pushing their issue, pushing their thing, right? Going after their political opponents. And then Democrats start everything. They started it all. You started weaponizing DOJ to go after political opponents. You used the law to try to keep a candidate off the ballot, using using your subjective interpretation of the some law about insurrectionists, and you can't even prove that Donald Trump was an insurrectionist because you can't prove that Donald Trump was responsible for the insurrection. You just pretend he is. And that's not evidence. Pretending that someone did something isn't evidence. But this is the liberal. This is what liberals do. They hit you with the trust me, bro, and they don't understand that no one trusts them. And you see it. Their own voters don't even trust them. But you expect me, an independent, to give them benefit of the doubt when Democrats, my Democratic detractors in my comment section, you statistically likely don't trust your party leadership, don't trust your party. Your party don't get anything accomplished. You believe that, Democrat detractor in my comment section, but you get mad that I put negative videos about the Democratic Party when I'm just speaking for all of us that the Democrats suck. And your argument, Republicans suck too. Yeah, but Republicans suck less compared to the Democrats. That's my comeback for you. That's what irks me about people who complain about my videos. Oh, you talk about Democrats, you don't talk about Republicans. I show you the data now. In the intro of this video, you saw the data. Majority of Americans believe Republicans are more likely to get something done than Democrats. Americans believe that Republicans have better leadership than Democrats. Then when you ask the voters, the partisans themselves, when you ask Republican voters about their own party, when you ask Democrat voters about their own party, both Republicans and Democratic voters agree that the Democrats ain't ish. And you mad about me, an independent American, who's pretty much framing is more accurate about how the American populace feel about the Democratic Party, but instead you're in my comment section trying to create narratives. In my comment section calling me ignorant. And then I give you the data backing up my claim, and you're probably not even going to watch this video. Because that's how it always happens. When I got the comeback, no negative comments. When I make claims unsubstantiated by no data, that's when the comments come. Typical opportunistic Democrat. But I digress. I'm not complaining. This is what you sign up for when you put your face and likeness on the internet defending your ideas. Right? But, I digress. Let me know your thoughts and perspective in the comment section below. I'll be interested to hear what you have to say. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Please share this video if you feel so inclined. It really does help me out in the algorithm. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.